want to thank everyone for being here on what I'm sure is going to be an eventful week, we hope. If not, that means we have to do it probably again next week or in the future. So I know all of you hope, and I know our conference hopes we have an on-time budget, but some news came out last week after we left. The new list of judicial nominees eligible for the governor to nominate for chief judge. And just to take us back, although I know many of you covered it very well, and I want to thank our conference, including my colleague Senator Palumbo, for filing that lawsuit that forced the Senate Democrats to perform and fulfill their constitutionally obligated duty and put Judge LaSalle on the floor for a full vote. Something that our conference felt was not only right constitutionally, but was right in practice, was right ethically, and should have been how it worked from the beginning. In fact, we wasted a lot of time, resources, but time, and now the court still does not, of course, have a chief justice. They have an acting chief justice, but not a permanent chief justice. And now we have a new list. And we have a new list, and we know, no matter what my colleagues across the aisle may say, we know that they have a responsibility to put, once the governor nominates a justice, they have an obligation. Yes, he or she will be vetted through the Judiciary Committee and go through that process again, but then that nominee will go to the floor for a full vote. And our conference stands ready to be part of that process. We believe, and I'm not going to get into the different candidates today. I know I'm still looking at their bios. Some of them I'm vaguely familiar with, some of them I'm not. And I'm sure some of my colleagues, depending on where they're from, may know them somewhat as well. But the point of this is our conference stands by that we should be part of this process. They obviously should get a full floor vote. Senators shouldn't, in my view, come out and say, I'm not going to support this person, we're not going to support that person, we're not going to entertain that person. My colleagues across the aisle, they want an activist court. They want a court that reflects the political whims of the moment, and particularly the political whims of the far left. We do not believe that. We think that the court should, judges, and I think a chief judge, especially at the highest level, should interpret the law. There's 41 lawmakers over there and 21 lawmakers, or 42 over there, 21 over here. If we want to change the law or make a new law, we have that ability. Judges are not supposed to make laws. Judges are not supposed to widen the strike zone. Judges are supposed to interpret the law as it is written and uphold it and protect the integrity of that law. That is something that I know my colleagues on the Judiciary Committee, after vetting him, after speaking to him, they felt Judge LaSalle would do that. The governor thought Judge LaSalle would do that. I would tell you that our colleagues on the Democratic Conference also thought Judge LaSalle would do that, and that's why they rejected him, because it wasn't good enough. They wanted a more activist judge. But again, I encourage the governor, in the interest of time and the importance of the court, to nominate someone quickly and begin this process of getting a judge, a chief judge, approved through the Judiciary Committee, through the full Senate for a vote. And certainly our conference stands ready to play a role in that process. And with that, I want to thank Senator Palumbo. I want to thank all the members, Senator Martins, Senator Rhodes, Senator O'Mara, Senator Lanza, who I know couldn't be here, Senator Patricia Canzaneri Fitzpatrick, who couldn't be here. Who am I missing on Judiciary? Is that everybody on Judiciary? Okay. I want to thank all the Judiciary Committee members for their round 1 and round 2 of work, and now round 3 coming up. And we'll see if that's the last round of this process. But all my colleagues for conducting themselves, I think, in a way that was how this process should be. They didn't come out and say, we don't like this person or I have an issue. We were willing to ask the questions, consider the nominee, and then ultimately make a vote on the floor, which we did and which we will do again. So I want to thank everyone and then certainly turn it over to questions.